All right, welcome to the Happy Pocket. Happy Pocket full of money. Book review. We have Michael Coble back from back from the future.
From the
Right?
depths.
From the depths. Yeah, he had the depths of Facebook horror, and so now he's back, and he wants to just give us a quick recap of pretty much the whole book by just telling us about the intro. So go for it.
All right. So, I mean, this book is chock full of nuts, obviously, just golden gems. But, man, if there was ever like a blueprint for abundance, this is it. And, I've gone through the book, almost 3 or 4 times completely now. And I always get sucked into a chapter, and then I'm mulling it over in my mind for a long time, and just kind of trying to stay in harmony with it throughout my daily interactions and stuff. But the biggest thing that I encountered lately, so in reference to your, Michael's back from the depths, that messed my mind up for a while. I hit just a rapid string of bad luck.
I know.
Ad accounts being shut down, members opting out, some paperwork filled out wrong, and I missed like a couple of double commissions because I submitted the wrong. Just like it was a perfect storm of just like all this stuff that happened all at once. And
I'll talk to you about that, by the way, Michael. Don't worry about
it. It's all sorted out now. So, but I started thinking like, and notice the words there. I started thinking like I got in here instead, and was like, oh man, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I don't have like the right entrepreneurial mind. Maybe this is a bunch of baloney. Maybe I was gullible and got sold down the river here on some stuff and wasn't thinking clearly. Again, thinking, but the whole premise of the book and the concept that's addressed very plainly in the very opening paragraphs are that you can't attract wealth unless you're clear on what it is. And then it goes into what is wealth. The most common symbol of that is money, right? And then what is money? Money's just a shadow of value. And almost everything in the world we assign value to. You can have the greatest house in the world, right? But if the market tanks or goes up or whatever, that value is completely determined by what we place on it. Same thing with a car or any material possession.
Yeah.
And the real wealth comes from wealth consciousness, which I kind of just let those words wash over me, like wealth consciousness. What is that? And I just kind of thought that meant imagining that you were wealthy all the time and trying to manifest that. But wealth consciousness, I'm really realizing now, like the fourth time through, is something entirely different. One of the premises of the book is believing it consistently. And I got jolted there and I quit believing it and I wasn't being consistent. And sure enough, if it wasn't like echoed and reverberated back to me. And and it's cool because I needed to go back and do some personal work in this area because things were starting to come very easily and I was getting a little too like soft or consistent. And the biggest part about that first chapter that blows my mind is that wealth is from your own personal value. What is it that you have of value that's so unique about you that you contribute to the world consistently and abundantly? And there for a while, I quit contributing, and I kind of retreated, and I retracted.
Did you quit your go lives, man?
No, I didn't quit the go lives. I've been doing a few here and there, but like I just felt like I wasn't in a good headspace or heart space, even better yet, to put something out there, and I didn't want to come across as unauthentic in any way. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like I was more of like in a bitching and whining and complaining mode than contributing something of
We have
value.
children's ears listening.
Sorry. Apologies. Yep, didn't see those kiddos. Reel that in. So, yeah, the go lives but they're coming back.
Good.
And I was also really like starting to be like, that's not an income producing activity. That I need to start being smarter about how I'm gonna spend my time. But coming back full circle to that first chapter, like your wealth comes from within, and that's the craziest thing about it. It's like you have all the wealth you could possibly ever attract to you already within you, and it sounds so cliche, and it sounds so metaphysical, and it sounds so kind of hippy dippy out there, but man, it's so true. It's so true. Like, I'm sitting here writing these ads, and I'm trying to get leads and all this stuff, and it's like, what value am I really offering here? And am I doing this to provide value, or am I doing it for my own personal intents and goals? And that shift alone, and just trying to give it away and provide value in everything I say, do, post, speak, think, breathe, is integral. And it's like the foundation of everything. And that first chapter is like dead on about it. It straight up says that like wealth consciousness is a reflection of your personal value. And you don't value yourself and come from a place of integrity and authenticity, and you can't even believe it yourself, it's not going to come to you. It's just not. And all the other metaphysical, quantum physics, belief systems, and everything else are predicated on that one. It's probably like the most important 3 paragraphs of the book, or the first 3 paragraphs.
Yep.
And then it goes into like, how to follow the steps with it. And I just was listening to that on the way home again today, and was like, oh man, it was like getting hit upside the head with a bat, and really just inspired me to get back to the way I was acting, thinking, behaving when things were going right, instead of going down this trodden trail of like, this is just one thing after another, like, it's crazy. And no sooner than I've started to change that, I literally am getting leads while we're sitting here having this conversation right now.
Wow. That's great.
It ceases to just blow my mind. I don't even, I'm kind of speechless, honestly. So you got to take it there for a minute, because I'm just like,
okay.
Yeah.
So be grateful, gratitude, right? Gratitude.
Yeah, but you can't have the gratitude after it comes to you. The gratitude has to be superseded before you even put anything out, and be grateful for who you already are and how much you already have. Like, I woke up this morning, I had shoes to put on my feet. I got out of a comfortable bed. I was alive. I was breathing. And I got another 24 hours on this planet that's hurling through space to make a difference in the world. And starting with right here, like, it's so easy to get lost in the trees, lose the forest through the trees metaphor thing. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Thank
The gratitude is everything, man.
I think that was some really good insight, and it's awesome to have like a testimonial that this stuff really works. So I'm going to kind of take that from where we left off kind of last time, right here. Once you are grateful, you can look at everything clearly and see yourself. Another bonus of gratitude is faith. By being grateful now for things you have intended to experience in the future, you become even more certain that you will experience them. And this in turn brings them to you. It allows you to be excited about the future. Let's keep going. Consciousness. You experience what you are awake to. This book has been largely about wealth consciousness. But what is consciousness? It is being awake to something. Now, by the way, Michael, we kind of shifted from just talking about the book to actually reading the book and talking about the book in these videos. So that's where we're like on book number 9, and we're not even done with the book. Okay?
I love it.
Wealth consciousness is being awake to wealth. Wealth has always been there, of course, but you may not have been able to be awake to it. You may not have been awake to it. You cannot experience what you are asleep to. Consciousness is the set of attributes and capabilities that enable you to be awake to a state of being or a set of experiences. This book has been about the things that enable you to be awake to the wealth that is already there, and the happiness that is already there as well. So, my friend, wake up. The material wealth of a nation is simply the manifestation of the collective wealth consciousnesses of that nation. That applies to any group of people, from families to corporations to continents and worlds. The least conscious person in a group of people will bring down the experiences of the most conscious. So a wise person does whatever they can to raise the consciousness of the group at large, so they themselves may experience more. It is self-defeating to do nothing or to lower someone else's wealth consciousness. Hence, what I just presented in Last Team Awesome, right? I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy. Several studies show that many people who win over $1 million in lotteries end up worse off financially than they were before they won. They lose all that money in amazingly short periods and end up even worse off because of the new debts and liabilities they accumulate. It is not money that makes a person wealthy. It is their wealth consciousness. People without wealth consciousness are unable to get wealthy even when a huge sum of money comes their way in a lottery win. On the other hand, people with wealth consciousness cannot fail to have money and wealth for extended periods. They may go broke occasionally due to an error in thinking or a higher choice, but they always bounce back up. They have no fear of getting broke because they know even if it happens, it is temporary, and they are designed to come right back up. You can take away all their money, and within a year they will be wealthy again, or at least be on their way to wealth. Luck has nothing to do with it. I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy. The greatest creative forces become available when your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious selves are in harmony in their choices. You make them so by raising your consciousness and awareness to all three levels of yourself. You become aware and conscious of things you used to do subconsciously, and so on. You can do this by deciding to be aware. Decide to be mindful and deliberate. Watch your thoughts and actions and dreams instead of walking about daydreaming in a daze and doing things on automatic. It would also be a good idea to consider vipassana, or mindfulness meditation. It is one of the best ways of increasing your awareness. You see, yourself makes choices, but if you are not aware of them, you will not know what they are. These choices are the superconscious ones. You start becoming aware of them by honoring your feelings, not emotions or thoughts masquerading as feelings, but genuine feelings. You honor your feelings. You also become aware of your superconscious through meditation. You also make choices consciously, and you make some subconsciously. You can increase your awareness of your subconscious choices by deciding to be aware, watching your thoughts. For example, in the past, you may have had idle thoughts of fear and indecision regarding a particular topic. These thoughts went on in your head all the time as you did other things. They were background thoughts. Well, now what you should do is watch your thoughts and do not allow any idle daydreams that keep tossing about an issue like a wild monkey in a cage. The point is that if for a particular decision these three levels all choose differently, your results will obviously be mixed and confusing to you. The way to fix that is to raise your awareness on all levels. I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy. The source of all creation is a field of infinite possibilities and creativity. Our true self is one with the source, according to the author. It is the same image and likeness. When we are conscious of that and believe it is so, we tap into this field of infinite possibilities and our inherent creative abilities. So here's where I would have to clarify my understanding of reality here. That we have a relationship with the source, or the one true creator, God, and we can increase our awareness of that through supplication, through knowing that you can increase your relationship with that God and asking for the things that you want, but at the same time you have to try. So alayka an tas'a ala rabbina tawfiq, which means it's upon you to do the trials, and it is upon the Lord to make them successful or not. But if you don't try, then don't expect success. It's not like luck. You have to try and be aware of all that God has put in front of you, and you can do whatever you want by his leave, right? Hey, Rafi, you're back. Thank you for coming back. I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy. You must have wealth consciousness that knows no poverty, or more accurately, the illusion of poverty. Work on it until the idea of poverty is laughable, until to think that you can possibly become poor is a ridiculous idea to you. Anybody can jump in at any time, okay? I am wealth. I am abundance. I am joy.
Hang on. Ahmed, I have a question for you. When you interjected that part, according to the author, how does that section about being one with the source, is that
I don't believe that. There
okay?
is a there
What do
is
you consider the source? Just out of curiosity.
so okay. So yeah, actually, though, that is a very good question, because the source can be interpreted into different ways. Some people believe the source in this case as like your own physical interpretation of your surroundings, which is like all in your mind. So that could be the source to you. And technically, if you think about it like that, then yeah, you have that ability to see everything is by perspective, okay, or what you say, relative. Everything is relative. So your reality is relative to how you perceive it, how you interpret it. Somebody could get killed in front of you, and you could become really sad or really fearful or whatever, or you could actually interpret that another way, in a way that you can actually make a positive out of it. Don't ask me how you could do it right now, but I'm just saying a very extreme example, okay?
Depends on the person that got killed. What if they were
exactly, exactly. If it was your enemy, then you can be like, all right, great.
Bye.
But for example, let's say that you are about to get kicked out of your house. That could be something that you could interpret as, wow, man, I'm going to become poor, I'm going to be homeless. But it could be another opportunity for you to find something better. It really could. And if you think about it like that, you're in control of how you interpret things around you and what you do with those things, how you respond. So if you consider that your own interpretation or your experience of your life as the source, and that how you have that the connection with all the things that happen around you and what you can do, then yeah, you are kind of in control. And the more you get to be aware of your own emotions, your feelings, how you perceive things, yeah, you are in control of that.
Did anybody take that literally as the source, like God, whatever you call that?
Well, if you take it God, I personally, okay, this is my personal belief, that I make a clear distinction between creator and creation. Okay, so there is no you are one with the creator. That's me. Obviously, there are other people who believe that the other way. But for me, it's like, yeah, you can do things with God's leave, by God's blessing, and pretty much, سخرنا لكم السماء والأرض. Basically, God has subjected to mankind the heavens and the earth. So basically, everything that we have in front of us is available for us to utilize it, to take advantage of it in this world. And so, that's like God made basically all the things to be subjected to us if we take advantage of it, like the animals, the grass, the trees, whatever we want, we can take advantage of it and live our lives. However, I do draw the line personally where between creator and creation.
And if you allow me to jump in, yes, also, I would interpret it most of the time that, like, because, there are a lot of, everyone.
Can you speak more clearly to the mic? I would like to hear you better.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that when people say, okay, I'm the creator and all of that, I say to them that, okay, you can have that belief, but I personally believe that you are a creator of what the tools that God gave you, as a Muslim myself. So I tell them, yes, you have these tools that you can use to create whatever, but as you know, like logically, like you were born, somebody had to take care of you, mom had to breastfeed you, somebody had to clothe you, somebody had to take you to school, all of that. So somebody else had to take care of you. So these are tools or people that, or things that God has put in your life to use, for you to use it to create your path, whether it's good or bad, rich or poor. With His mercy or guidance. That's what that's my 2 cents on.
May I?
Go ahead.
The book says source. So we almost have to get into like a short semantical debate about what we all consider source. I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't say creator, creation, God.
Yeah,
It just says
sometimes he does say
source.
right after the word source, he says God.
Right, like as in a synonym, like the source,
Yeah.
God, etc. Um, you know, scientists may call it whatever.
Yeah, he'll say like the source, the universe, God. I've
Divine
seen that.
pattern, if you
Yeah, I've seen
will.
that in a sentence. You might find it in this chapter. Actually, I'm not sure.
And I love it that I'm assuming the other four panelists here are of the Muslim.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I love it, man.
Okay.
It's like my favorite thing is to talk about. Yeah, I mean that I can see where that would like ruffle some feathers with people or be like a divisive line. Like co-creating
Yeah,
that kind of just
that's
that
what we call
communication.
shirk or blasphemy.
That would be blasphemous to
It's a
the
blasphemous statement. It's a associating partners with God, which is like against the first commandment.
so I'm not debating that or anything.
I
I
know,
just
we're just sharing information.
how do you navigate that loophole, if you will, with the teachings of the book?
Yeah, I just interpret it like we are able to create whatever we want with God's permission, right?
I love that. That's awesome.
I mean, and we, like I said, it is upon you. It's your obligation to try and put forth the effort. It's God's ability to make your effort successful or not.
Right.
It's pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty easy to get around the whole, discord.
No, I don't want to go around it though. I want to like get into it. Like, and I love it. It comes down to like faith because we're talking about money and wealth and abundance and all this stuff, but literally at the core of all of this is faith.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. No, absolutely. Like, how did I get to where I got to just now? I had certainties that I was going to get there. And then I worked my butt off to do it. And so I did it.
So like, and it begs the
But if I
question:
didn't have certainty, I wouldn't have worked.
Do you put your faith into yourself and hoping for God's blessing at the
No,
same
seriously,
time?
like some of the
Or
things,
like
I put my certainty and my faith in myself, but at the same time, I had faith in God and like what we call the tawakkul, which is basically the reliance upon God. In that, some of the things that happened, I did not expect them to happen. Okay, some of my sales that I was able to close, I did not see those a week before.
you're like,
Okay?
what?
No, yeah, some of the people like yeah, we don't want to go into all that, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, the thing is that's where the whole moment of grace type of things happen. A mog, right?
Yeah.
But that's like you had that certainty, and you talked to the creator, you asked for the success, and then you put forth an effort. And for me, I mean, personally, whenever like somebody asks for help, I'll try and help them help themselves first. And this is me. I'm not comparing me with God. Okay. And when I can't. So, but personally, like I feel like, does that person deserve my help? If they're completely incapable, then like, yeah, that's a different story. Like if they're like physically incapable, fine, then they get the help, right? But if they want help and they don't put forth any effort and they're totally capable of it, then like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that help until you show me that you're worth it, that you're worthy, you deserve it, And it's kind of like, well, it's like I was listening to the seerah or the like biography, like not the biography. It's like the story of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and it's like in that story, like God sends miracles down to strengthen and to make steadfast the people, but only after they prove that they are worth it. I'll go into it another time, but it's just that's my take on it, and I feel like I did my best, and then I wasn't yet. I was short a few things, and then God put some people in my path, and like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So.
I just
Yeah, Michael, go ahead. The other Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're muted. Why don't you unmute yourself?
All right. No, he just muted.
Now you're muted. Try it again. I'd love to hear from you. Can't hear anything, bro. Okay, get on the Zoom from your phone and then try it again. So while he's doing that, shall I continue, or did you have something else to say?
I just love that it's rooted in faith,
Yes.
spirituality, and quantum physics, and like manifestation all swirled together. I just find that to be a beautiful cocktail of like really powerful belief systems. I think that's
Yeah, absolutely.
amazing.
And Claudia, you're gonna probably want to mute one of them, like mute your computer or something.
Yeah, I'm on it. How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Oh, so much better. Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Michael Koba, welcome, man. I've seen a lot of your material that's out there on the internet. And I love it, man. I love what you're doing.
You're an inspiration to us all, man.
Yeah, honestly. I just wanted to, Ahmed, if it's okay with you, I wanted to also invite Mr. Michael to, feel free to share his, interpretation and his, how he views that message as well. We'd love to hear it.
Sure. If we only get through 2 pages in 45 minutes, I'm okay with that. As long as we have some engagement.
Book, man. It's like, it's okay, dude. Like, you got to go slow. My personal faith, I don't associate with any particular.
And we have 10 minutes before this single end.
Sure. I don't follow any prescribed organized religion. I've kind of tried to accept all of them for what they are, as like, I like to use the analogy of like a bicycle wheel, and there's a hub in the middle and there's all these different spokes. And I think fundamentally they all are pointing to the same direction, being a moral, quality human being, and largely believing in something bigger than yourself, which to me is oneness of everybody, and interconnectedness. So one of the things that just I could never resonate with or wrap my head around with any religion was when each religion kind of speaks of the one true God or its personal God. I just never resonated with that. And I know that there's some faiths that don't promote that as well either, but I was raised Baptist and Christian, and I was like the kid in Sunday school asking about like the dinosaurs and stuff and how that fit into the Bible. And I just was like, no, this doesn't feel right. And it's crazy because my dad's 70 years old, and he's kind of getting older, and he's still like very persistent in reminding me that Jesus Christ is the way. And I just there's something that I like to think bigger about with that. And I've read most of all the major texts. I've read the Bible, the Quran, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I guess the overwhelming feeling I came away with all of them is that they're all pointing towards the same direction.
Yep.
And so I don't know what you call that, faith or belief system. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Cool. Well, hey, man, thanks for sharing. I mean, we appreciate that. We appreciate you, Michael.
I appreciate every single one of you.
It's so weird looking at you twice, bro.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, whoa.
Which one's talking? I'm talking.
Yeah, this is where you see me, and this is where you hear me. So
apparently,
multi-dimensional, man.
Yeah. Cool. So I'm gonna continue, if you don't mind. You create money by increasing your value inside you, just like you just said. You do that by reading books like this. You also do that by remembering your true self that is in the image and likeness of the source. Abundant by nature. You then experience money by exchanging the value you have built in you. Exchange it with others by providing services, goods, and money to others in exchange for their services, goods, and money. Remember that people have a unique purpose or ability within them. They fulfill part or all of this ability or purpose. They create something out of and by using their internal value. Their creations are therefore unique, and the exchange of these unique creations is what brings about the paper or cash money. Paper or cash money is just a medium of exchange for a uniquely developed internal value. Build wealth by building your inner value. Experience wealth by carrying out your purpose and ability using that built-up inner value. It all lies inside you. To build external wealth, build internal value, and then exercise it. It is that simple. The biggest components of internal value are instantly available to all. These are faith or certainty, imagination, inquiry, and focus. Activity, taking action, translates inner value into outer value, material wealth. Anybody have any comments right there? I have 6 minutes. 3 minutes? Or you're okay? Is that the okay sign? Yeah, I'm okay. All right. I am wealth. I am abundance. I am joy. Wealth follows those with wealth consciousness. It is not the other way around. Wealth consciousness comes from states and thoughts of prosperity and wealth full of confidence. It does not allow any moment at all to think poverty thoughts of limitations and doubt and scarcity, or to have states of fear and disbelief. I think that's so true, guys. I've experienced
that was a good one.
I experienced that personally before I even came into this business, before I even read this book. I kind of came to that realization. I'm going to read it again. Wealth follows those with wealth consciousness. It is not the other way around. Wealth consciousness comes from states and thoughts of prosperity and wealth full of confidence. It does not allow any moment at all to think poverty thoughts of limitations, doubt, and scarcity, or to have states of fear and disbelief. So you guys have impeccable confidence, and you guys are going to see the wealth follow you. I am wealth. I am abundance. I am joy. The earning of money has nothing to do with the direct manipulation of the papers you now call money. It has all to do with wealth consciousness. I am wealth. I am abundance. I am joy. Wealth is a predictable result. The causes of wealth are predictable and accessible to all without exception. I am wealth. I am abundance. I am joy. To the extent that you have wealth consciousness inside of you, outside things will enable you to experience wealth or hinder you from experiencing wealth. This is the same for happiness. To the extent that you have happiness inside of you, outside things will enable you to experience happiness or hinder you from experiencing happiness. And it is the same for everything else. Peace, love, non-judgment, non-condemnation, non-segregation, and so on. I've said this time in and time out, that people need to find happiness within and not expect to find it without. Same goes with wealth consciousness. I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy. The collective consciousness. Go ahead.
Can I bring, what do we got, like a couple minutes left?
We have 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
All right, so maybe in a nice little package to wrap this little thing up. One of the biggest thing that blew my mind about hearing that intro again is that this whole time we've been talking about faith, consciousness, kind of like internal states of being.
Mm-hmm.
But then the very beginning of the book says, if you follow these steps, you will gain wealth with mathematical certainty. So I love the fact that, I mean, mathematical certainty to me just resonates of the physical world, physics, hands-on, tactile, tangible things that you can, experience in the four-dimensional world. But at the same time, they're all rooted in subconscious belief systems of convincing yourself, or believing in faith. And what a crazy juxtaposition that mathematical certainty can follow faith. Because usually you think of faith, to me, when we think of faith, it's like something that's scary, or that's like a leap, if you will, a trust exercise. But I love the like, it's not a leap, it's not trust, it's like mathematical certainty, that's profound. That's profound for me. I just love that.
Yep, it's all act as if, and then you know with certainty that you're going to receive that thing, and then you do. That's amazing. Saul, you have something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. Let me exit this place real quick. Yeah, guys. Michael, glad to see, to get to talk to you, because I do also like your material online. But at the same, I was like, when he mentioned about like dinosaurs and all that, I said, man, you see, I'm not trying to preach to you or anything, but as Muslims, we don't see any contradictions between science and and our religion. For example, like my son's first book ever was about dinosaurs, and we affirm that they lived along. If there is a proof for anything, yes, and in our text. Okay. So in our text there in our text there's there are things that explained or not, and if they're not explained, and science tell us, okay, there used to be dinosaurs living a long time ago. That's nothing that we're gonna be like, okay, that's fine. Okay. Yes, I know other religions want to like for example, like Christianity, for example, they say, okay, no, the world is 10,000 years old. But us, we don't have that, first of all. And man, I lost my train of.
No, I respect that. I think that's fantastic.
That's okay.
Yeah. So if it's explained, if there is a text, we believe in it.
That this is going to get cut off because the Zoom is really going to stop. So if we can wrap it up in like 10 seconds, and then we can make another.
Okay.
Zoom, okay. But this particular recording is going to have to be cut off.
Okay, cool. All right. So I just wanted to share that, and thank you guys for everything. So go ahead, Ahmed.
No, I don't have anything else. It's going to get cut off.